Hi guys, it's Karen from the Shabby Attic. I have some painting tips for you today. Some of you have written me and said you wonder how I can crank out so many pieces of furniture, and it's because I've learned some techniques that really save time, and I'm going to show you some of them. So I have here my own handmade bucket of chalk paint. I'm sure you've been hearing about chalk paint, and it's really popular right now, and it's really easy to use. And you can either buy it or you can make it yourself. There's recipes online that you can use. And I tend to make my own because we paint so much furniture. It's a little more cost effective for me to make it myself. So I have also, one thing I use is a lightweight brush. I don't use expensive brushes to do my work because I paint so many pieces. It keeps my hand from cramping. So I usually get the $1.50 cheapy brushes. But one suggestion I would have for you is if you're just starting out, never done a piece of furniture before, use an old beat up brush. Only because with the newer brushes they lose a lot of bristles, so you'll be picking a lot of bristles out of your paint as you're going along. It's kind of a pain, and once it dries it's hard to get those bristles out. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I do when I actually apply the paint that I find is effective for me to get good coverage and fewer drips. And what I do is I dip the paint or brush in the paint, and then I actually pull it off on one side, and then I have the brush loaded just the way I like it, just kind of just the right amount of paint for starting. And then what I'm going to do is when you look at a piece of furniture and you see which way the grain is going, you want your brush marks to go that direction, and it just will look more natural. But what I do to start out is I go my first coat is the opposite direction. So you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to coat to start, going the opposite way, and then I'm going to go along the grain. Then I'll pull that paint in the direction that it's going to wind up being. So, and what that does is I think it tends with older pieces to fill in some of the graining and gives you really good coverage. That way I don't have to do a really heavy second coat. I could just do a medium second coat. So that's it. You're going to start out going the opposite direction and then bring your brush in the direction of the grain, just like that. And you're going to find that by not overloading the brush with paint and by doing this, by spreading that paint around a little bit, you're not going to get nearly as many drips as you normally would if you just laid it on really thick in the beginning. The other thing, as I go along, I pick up any flaws, I see a brush, I see a little hair right there. Pick them out as you go along. Just get it in a good lighting and take out any imperfections, and that way when you go to sand between your coats, it's not nearly as much work. So that's it. I hope that's helpful to you, and can't wait to show you this piece when it's all done. I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.